The Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals is a show that grows every year, and not just in size and attendance, but kind of in its level of amazement of what you guys can pull off. I mean, you make history every single year with the kind of car collections you bring out. Bob, tell us about kind of the hallmark feature for this year.
Well, this year we've got something that we've been working on for close to 2 years, and to say it's a dream come true for me is a major understatement. But being a Mopar aficionado myself and passionate about the Hemi cars, we aim to put together a large collection of E-Body or Cuda and Challenger Hemi convertibles that have ever been under one roof. And with some really good support from some good friends and collectors that have become very good friends of mine, we managed to assemble 27 of the cars. And the total production, to kind of put that into perspective, the total production for both years, for 70 and 71, when you combine both the Challenger and Cudas, is 42 cars. So that's among the rarest of the muscle cars. There are 39 of those cars that currently exist. And of those, we have 27 of the 39 here on the show floor.
Now, when you start to think about what this means, it's not just of the 40-some, more than half are here today.
Right.
These are 40-some of the most sought-after, highly prized muscle cars everywhere.
Right.
You know, this is the car.
Yeah.
It's a 70 Cuda or Challenger with a 426 Hemi and a convertible top.
Yep.
And collectors love these cars because they represent everything the muscle car is.
Exactly.
And they are always at the pinnacle of muscle car values.
Right. And as most people know, the convertible back in the day was not a desirable body style. So of course when you take the combination of the rarest body style with the highest horsepower, biggest displacement engine that was offered, and to add to the punch, it's a 426 Hemi.
Right.
You know, the engine speaks for itself. You just have, bar none, the most sought after American muscle cars ever built.
Now, some people have asked me why, if these cars are so cool, did they make so few? And if you look back through history, we find that Hemi package added, 30% to the vehicle
That's
price?
correct, yeah. It was over $800 when the upgrade from a six-cylinder to a V8 might have been $100.
Right. Then you've got insurance companies tacking on giant premiums to
Right.
make them more expensive to drive.
Right.
And then on top of that, the 426 Hemi is basically a race car motor that was used to make NASCAR 426 Hemis legal
Right.
in street use, and they weren't the friendliest engines on the street.
That's right. And the Hemis are kind of temperamental, and if you knew how to make them run, they ran better than anything. But if you didn't know how to make them run, it could get pretty frustrating.
Well, anytime you try and start a cold dual four-barrel large V8 with high-flowing heads, you're up for a battle just trying to get it going half the time.
Absolutely. And when you think about it, most of the people that would want the highest horsepower engine, the last body style you would want to put it in is a convertible.
Right,
It
exactly.
just doesn't go together, and that's why they were so rare in the day. And then again there, you're adding more expense by going to a convertible versus a hardtop.
Right. Well, it's an unbelievable display, and that's just what you're greeted with when you enter the front door, because the Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals is much more than the Hemi display.
And that's what I really pride ourselves on, is the fact that it doesn't matter if you're a Mopar guy or a Buick guy or, your Mustang is your passion. I guarantee you, if you're any make you pick, you're going to come here and just be amazed by what's within the walls.
Now, this show is known for its invitational displays,
Right.
where we categorize different types of cars and bring them together.
Yep.
What are some of the invitationals this year?
Well, another one that I'm really proud of, we put together a group of Buick GS Stage 1s, which of course are the highest horsepower Buick. And then to take that to raise the bar, these are all 4 speeds or 1 3-speed, which they made only 2, and these are also convertibles. So we've got a group of 9 of those cars on the show. And our good friend Bob Perkins, who's nationally known as a Mustang and Shelby expert, has assembled a group that's just staggering of Boss 302s.
And we have something for the Chevy guys, because this is funny. We're talking about
Yep.
one of the premier muscle car shows in the world, and the first 3 makes, we haven't even touched Chevy yet.
Exactly. and the Chevys, again, there, instead of having the common stuff, because much as we love Camaros and Chevelles, what we do is try to take it a step further. So we've assembled a group of LS6 Chevelles. So again, the top dog muscle car, 454 cubic inches, 450 horsepower. We have 16 of them. In fact, there are actually 18 in the show, and we have 2 LS6 El Caminos, which is uncommon. But in addition to that, we step back in time to what I consider one of the first true muscle cars with the 409 Chevys. Mm-hmm. And we've got a group of 409s from 62 to 65, and L79s. And one of the things that I like is I really like to see the unusual, the oddities. And we've talked about the convertibles, but kind of go the other way. L79 group, we've got an original owner here who has a 4-door L79 4-speed. And when he bought that car, he went to his local dealer here in Illinois, and they told him this is a car. They actually would not allow him to order the car.
Really?
He was in the service, and he ended up having a gentleman he was in the service with whose father owned a Chevy dealer in California. He said, my dad will order anything you want. So he ended up ordering the car in California, and here it sits today. He's owned it ever since.
Yes, and the L79 is the high performance 327.
Exactly. So all the muscle cars, as you know, they aren't all big blocks. No. So this was a high output 327, which is somewhat of an insurance beater. And in that group, we also have a couple of the Beaumont Acadians, which are cars you just don't see. They built about 20 of them. We have a pair of them, a husband and wife team own them.
And those are the Canadian cars.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and then you mentioned big block, the Z16 Malibu SS display.
The beginning of the big block era for the Chevelle. We built 201 of them in 1965, and we've got a group of a dozen of them. They were offered in 3 colors. We have all 3 colors.
And correct me if I'm wrong, we've got perfect restored cars down to some original stuff.
Exactly, and that's what we like to really emphasize. There are plenty of cars that are fresh from the restoration shop, and of course we pride ourselves in being a place that many of the shops will come to premiere their cars on Saturday morning for our premiere unveilings. But you'll also see cars that might have a few bumps and bruises, but I guarantee you there's a reason for that. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite cars of the show, a gentleman out of Pennsylvania brought in, and he was concerned about the fact that it does have a few bumps and bruises, but so far he's taken one of the National Magazine picks, and it was kind of neat to set the tone because I had tried to convince him that the car was indeed going to be a hit, even though it wasn't quite as shiny or pretty as some of the others.
Sure.
It's a 426 Hemi 4-speed CUDA convertible.
Yeah. What's not to love?
Exactly.
Doesn't have to be perfect to be cool. Well, and again, I think the other big displays, the barn find hidden gems are back, which people seem to dig, speaking of stuff that's got bumps and bruises.
Right, and that's just something that's fun. A few years back, I had a gentleman who had just found a 427, 435 Corvette that had been parked in a garage for many, many years, complete with snow tires and electric block heater, and the guy was in Minnesota. And he called me and he kind of explained the car to me and said, I know your cars are shiny and pretty, but I got something I think people would really like to see. And he told me the story about the car, and I said, you absolutely have to bring this car. You've got to do it. When he did that, the response was unbelievable. So that's the roots of our barn finds and hidden gems. With that, I want to emphasize that they're not just old beater projects or cars that have been sitting around. Each one of those cars either has some really interesting history or they're true rare cars.
Very cool. Well, the other key word of this show is Corvette.
Right. In the Corvette world, well, L88, again, talking about the top dog engines. We've got a beautiful display over there with 68 and 69 L88. These are cars you just don't see. Mm-hmm. Production numbers are in the hundreds among 3 years of production. There's a group of 5 of them over here. We have a special group called the Corvette Legends display that features the years 65 and 70 to coincide with our anniversary displays.
Bob's given us a nice overview. There are still a bunch more featured displays and other invitationals we haven't even touched on that we're going to go take a look at. This show's the high point of the year for us muscle car heads. We really love it. And tell people where they can learn more, and if they haven't been here yet, how to plan a trip to get here.
Absolutely. We're always the weekend before Thanksgiving, so we plan on being on that weekend for quite some time. And we're here at the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center, which is in suburban Chicago. Fantastic location because there's plenty of hotels, there's great restaurants. The Rosemont community welcomes us with open arms, and they really work. They love the passion that the muscle car people have, so they have fun with it. In fact, the mayor here has had cars in the show.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're basically right off the tollway, right next to O'Hare Airport.
Right.
There's an L station right there.
Yep.
It's easy to get to.
Yep. Absolutely.
Well, we appreciate it again, and we're going to have fun checking everything out.
It hasn't even started yet, and here we are, ready to rock.
I know, and like we always say, how are you going to beat it next year? I don't know. We'll have to stay tuned.
Please do.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yep.